Good morning, my name is LaPier. I am from a town called Keysville in upstate New York, where I attended Keysville Elementary until 6th grade. I went to Osable Valley Central School from 7th grade to 12th grade, where I played football, I wrestled, and I ran track. Wrestling has played a key role in my life. I started wrestling in 8th grade, and I haven't gone longer than a week without being on the mat since. I compete and train year-round. I believe it is my duty as an athlete to coach. I've coached youth wrestling since my sophomore year of high school. Youth athletes are the future of the sport I love, and I believe it is important for me to share my love of the sport and my knowledge of what it means to be a wrestler. It is so satisfying to see one of my athletes achieve their goals. I graduated in June of 2018 in the lower middle tier of my class. I was never very concerned with grades, but I've always managed to be a solid B student. However, I've always placed a great value on education, and from an early age I knew I was meant to be a teacher. I'll never forget how proud and excited my principal looked when he saw me walk across that stage. I just want to make my family proud. I want my family to know they've done a good job in raising me, and they've created a young man that they can be proud of. My little genius brother also helps push me to be my best, so that I can keep up with his achievements that seem almost daily. The coaches and teachers I've had, whether I loved them or hated them, have all had a profound effect on my life's trajectory. They left their mark on me and helped to shape my thoughts and philosophy. Mr. Fay, Miss Turner, and Mr. Munson are just three of my favorites. Mr. Fay was in charge of a program called New Horizons. The program was meant to help incoming freshmen and sophomore get a jump on high school. Mr. Fay understood that none of us really wanted to be there, so he did everything he could to make sure we all felt important and had fun. He is one of those rare people that give so much that you'd run through a brick wall for. Miss Turner was like a mother to all of her students. I can't count the amount of times she listened to me cry while promising that it'd all work out and it would all be okay. I was a bit of a troublemaker in high school, and Miss Turner would always be willing to go to bat for me, and she never let anyone say a bad word about me. I always tried to do things the right way because I was terrified of seeing Miss Turner's disappointed face. Miss Turner is a bit of a hippie and a biology teacher, so naturally she doesn't have a Facebook or social media, so no picture of her. Mr. Munson was our athletic director. He was always fair. He was always a guy I could count on to give it to me straight. When I got in trouble, I got sent to him instead of the principal. He respected me, and he always treated me fairly. Mr. Fay, Miss Turner, Mr. Karen, and Mr. Patnode are my favorite teaching philosophers. Their teaching philosophies have influenced my own. Mr. Fay believed the best way to learn was by doing activities and being in the field. Miss Turner believed the best way to learn was by showing us. Mr. Karen believed in a hybrid approach where he would explain it to us, then he'd show us, then he'd slam us with practice problems. But Mr. Patnode believed he could teach us best in a frenzy. He would say something thought-provoking, let us fight about it, and then we'd discuss it as a group. I was fortunate enough to train under Coach Joe DeMeo. He was the coach of the United States Olympic Greco-Roman wrestling team. He coached 2 Olympic champs. His athletes have combined for over 279 national championships, so obviously he knows what it takes to get the most out of people. He believed that steel sharpens steel, meaning competition breeds excellence. I hope to create a culture in my classroom where students are rewarded for going above and beyond. I believe creating a culture where students strive to be better than they were the day before will lead to success, not only in the classroom, but in life. I try to be as civically engaged as I can. I try to work with youth athletes as much as possible, and I never miss an opportunity to work with children who want my help. So to wrap up, I believe teachers have a profound effect on youth, and I want the opportunity to have a positive influence on the life of children. I believe my students and children will be my legacy, and I will have improved the lives of those to come after us. I'll leave you with a quote from Henry Brooks Adams. Teachers affect eternity. No one can tell where their influence stops.